Okay, for the first one, we have 9 squared and we have raised to the 1/3 power. So when we have these exponents, we multiply them together. So this is going to be 9 to the 2/3. If you wrote it as a radical, it would be the 3rd root of 9 squared or the 3rd root of 9 and the quantity squared. Any of those are correct answers. Right, for number 3, we want to remember that there's a 1 here. So we're saying this is 6 to the 1 minus 1/4. 1 minus 1/4 is 3/4. So it's 6 to the 3/4 power. If you wrote it as a radical, it's the 4th root of 6 cubed or the 4th root of 6, and you would do quantity squared or cubed. All right, for number 5, we have 8 to the 4th and 10 to the 4th. Since they're both to the same power, we can pull that power out. And we have these two exponents that would get multiplied together. When we multiply 4 times -1/4, we get -1. So if it's 8 tenths to the -1, that means it's going to be 10 over 8 because these would switch places. And then we simplify to 5/4. Number 7, we have the same base. Since we have the same base, we can add our exponents. So it's 3 to the -2/3 plus 1/3, which would give me 3 to the -1/3. Then on the outside, I still have that -1. So I multiply these together, and it becomes 3 to the +1/3. If you wanted to write that as a radical, you could write it as the cubed root of 3. Number 9, we have everything to the 2/3 power. That means I can pull that exponent out to the outside, and I just keep all of my bases. And then I can simplify within my parentheses. 2 times 16 is 32. 32 divided by 4 is 8. So it's 8 to the 2/3. 8 to the 2/3 is the same thing as saying the 3rd root of 8 and then squared. I can actually take the 3rd root of 8, that's 2, and 2 squared is 4. Okay, this one is different from the first two that we did because I can't take the 4th root of 6 and get a whole number, and I can't take the 3rd root of 9 and get a whole number. So that's why I didn't simplify any farther. This one, I can actually take the 3rd root of 8, so I kept simplifying. Okay, then you guys had 19 and 21. So for this question, we're simplifying. We have the 4th power. So I want to think about numbers that have a 4th power. So like if I did 1 to the 4th, it's just 1. If I did 2 to the 4th, it's 16. 3 to the 4th is 81. And see if any of these numbers go into 567. This would probably be a calculator question because you would not, I wouldn't make you divide these big numbers by hand. So like 81 goes into 567. So it is 81 times 7. So then the 4th root of 81 is 3. And then the other one you guys had to do was 21. And 21, we have the 3rd root on the top and the 3rd root on the bottom. So for this one, we can do this a few different ways. So 4 breaks down into 2 and 2. Since we have the third root, that means I would need to multiply this by the third root of 2 because that's going to give me 3 2's for the radical to cancel out. When I do that, I would get the third root of 10 over the third root of 8, and then the third root of 10 over 2. That would be my final answer.